Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to the weekend preview. And look, it's a bloody nightmare. This is extremely difficult to navigate through. There's a lot of players out, not as many as we would have liked returning. And the end result is a legitimate chance of donuts. And that's plural. And we are in limbo currently and we'll be very much looking at those extended benches to see how they pan out now. You know, Darcy Moore is still not back. Matt Crouch is still not back. Willem Drew, after racking up 32 touches, 12 clearance in the sample, I thought he might return. He did not. That really hurts. You know, Will Hayes has been dropped. That had hurt a few, myself included. Dangerfield has not got up. Constable is out again. Just can't seem to do a thing right. Well, he seems to, but just finds a way to get dropped. Sam Collins is injured. Rolling through the list of players, we get to Sunday, and obviously Zach Williams is out. Cornelio is in, named on an extended bench, but whether he's just facing a fitness test, so he's on the extended bench, or they're just putting him there for the sake of it, but he'll clearly play if he's fit. And then we've got, you know, the all-important Carlton and St Kilda game. It's important for the two coaches, but it's important for our sides because Setterfield and Parker have both been named on the extended bench. And with Dangerfield out, Drew out, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are praying that both, or at least one, can get in. So there's just carnage. You know, if I look at my team now, Zach Williams out. Bring in Lockhart, I guess. Crouch is still out. I've got to put Oscar Baker and Michael Gibbons on the field. And then Drew and Dangerfield on the bench. I need Petruccelli, Parker, and Setterfield to play. It's brutal. It's just brutal, you know. That's. I talked about an exposed underbelly last week. Well, this is exposed. Real frustrating. I felt like Zach Williams was close to getting up this week. Now, I'll have to assess the severity of that hamstring, but I'm leaning towards keeping him because I believe he's going to be a real top defender. I mean, he was averaging 94 at the minute, and that 75 was about half time. So you could easily say he's averaging 96, 97. But if he's out for 3 weeks, then that's another story. I'll have to look into that further. And when I have that trade plan, I've spoken about this trade plan, I hate to veer away from it. And prior to the teams, it was O'Brien out in rookie or maybe Fort since he's held his spot over Abbott with Stanley returning, and out Dersma in Lloyd. Now, I think I will stand by that unless I'm going to cop a zero. Obviously, we can't be copping zeros. Now, the plan B would probably be, so I've got 260k in the bank. I mean, there could be a thought, say Parker, I mean, Drew is still out, so he could be a guy that gets traded. And that could be to Boak. Let me just do a little bit on the fly here. Now, this could go against exactly what I said with Williams. But Lloyd, he's at 556k. That's an extra 51,000 to get to, if I were to go Williams to Lloyd. Let's have a look at Boak. I think he's priced around 540 or 550. 542 with a break even of 138. So he's unlikely to get that, but he has come close to that. I mean, clearly it's not about break evens when we're this drastic at the minute. What would that be? 221. Wow, I would just far out. So I'd need 221 to do that, and I need 51 to go Williams to Lloyd. That's totaling 272. And what do I have in the bank? 262. Far out. That's bloody frustrating. Well, that buggers that. I mean, that's a bit of that's annoying. Well, I don't really know what my plan B is. Clearly, it would be to trade out an existing zero. I guess I could go to Jack Billings. I really rate him, and I think he's a solid averaging player. You could maybe do that, but yeah. It's not fun at the moment because we really wanted to just cruise along and we'll have our problems when the buyers come, etc., etc. But yeah, it's really awkward. It's real awkward. I mean, my process from here, assess how long Williams is out for. Well, assess the weekend teams, the Sunday teams. Assess how long Williams is out for. And, if I don't have to cover donuts, I might roll with it. I might. There will be a temptation to bolster up my side on field. I guess it's probably just a debate of, do you want Lloyd in or do you want Billings in or Boak or someone like that? Because I could just go Drew to Boak and then just make one trade. Or I could do Drew to Boak and O'Brien down to a Fort or something like that and maybe double trade the week after. But basically comes down to premium versus rookie. And that would be, say, Lloyd and, someone like a Parker or a Setterfield if they get named versus a Boak and, you're probably exposing a Dursmore or a Lockhart. So it's a toss of a coin as to who is more reliable. But the ironic thing is that I think if Parker and Setterfield are named, they're two weaker clubs. It's a chance for them. There's no reason why they can't score 60 plus. But they have been very, very disappointing and at times just unpredictable as to how they will go. So, look, I'll sign off. That was more of a rant and rave other than, any advice, but it's pretty simple. I mean, if we're going to cop zeros, don't cop a zero. Do everything you can to avoid that zero. Make that your priority. Otherwise, just do the best you can. It's pretty simple. I mean, we don't need to be targeting premiums or cash cows because the fact is we've just got to wait for these Sunday teams and hope and then go from there and hopefully field a full side. So all the best here. Hopefully when I'm talking to you on Monday, I'm in a bit better mood. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully with a decent score. But all the best. I'll be back soon. Cheers.